Passion, drive, persistence, resilience, love. All qualities that shape and define us. Join the Cyber Warrior as he helps shape your path. This is Walk With Me. Welcome back to Walk With Me, a cyberwarriorstudios production. I'm your host on this journey, the Cyber Warrior. Now, today I want to talk about two things, and they're going to kind of merge together because, well, they do blend together. So to start it off, I did eventually get a question anonymously to the link that I have down below in the show notes and that I've been sharing on all my social media. And it says, saying it's okay to take a step back and reevaluate your goals. I always wonder if I am on the right path. Funny. This show is all about finding your path in life and your career and everything. And the crazy part about that is when we did our episode on goals a ways back, I even mentioned that it's okay for your goals to change. And the biggest part about that is that until you finally reach the end, sometimes you don't know if you're actually doing the right thing. And here's the weird part about it. Let's take my career, for instance. In my career, I've been in the military and retired. I've worked IT. I've been in cybersecurity. And even now, my boss is constantly asking, well, do you want to manage people? Do you want to stay technical? What do you want to do? And my goals change at a whim. Some days I'm like, I'd rather manage people. Other days I'm like, let's stay technical. But at the end of the day, I can find happiness and know I'm doing the right thing as long as I'm moving up and I feel appreciated, right? And I feel like the things that I do are valued and I'm getting somewhere. And on the same token, let's take this podcast. This podcast, Walk With Me, I created for the sole purpose of helping others. Now, it's going to take it a while to grow. Let's be honest, when you share the same kind of beginning name as a lot of other podcasts, it's very hard for people to find you. But the difference is I, A, will not give up, and B, I truly want to help people. And so I've reevaluated my goals and really thought about what I want to do with this podcast, which is why I'm constantly asking people to submit their own questions because I want to make it about you and your journey. Now, if I got 10 to 20 downloads an episode and never heard feedback from anybody, I'd really debate whether or not they were listening because they were getting something from it or listening just because they know me and they want to help out, which is a hard line to walk because my goal with this is to help others, just like my goal with the other shows that I do on YouTube. It's all about helping others. And let's be honest, no one is completely altruistic. And I've said that before. So the reason I want to help others is because it makes me feel good. I'm going to be honest there. That's what makes me happy is helping others and knowing that the things I say and the things I do impact other people in the right way. That's what's important. So I'm not going to sit here and say that, I do it just for other people. No. I do it for other people because it makes me happy. That's what makes me happy. So when I ask for feedback, and like a lot of other content creators, when they ask for feedback and they're doing things to help a community, it's because by giving that feedback, that's how they get their motivation to keep going because they know they're helping. And I'll be honest, I can probably say on a regular basis, maybe 4 or 5 people, almost every episode, actually tell me what they got from it. And I've even had one person give me my own advice and say, hey, didn't you just say this week? Yes, I did. And I'm very bad at taking my own advice, but thank you. And I'll work on it because I've made it known that I know what I need to do. Sometimes I hold myself back for the same reasons as a lot of other people. So I never thought I was going to do a podcast. I never thought I was going to put myself out there on YouTube. But once I got out of the military, my goals changed. I saw a community that wasn't truly a community. I saw people going back and forth. Now I see this within the veteran community and people constantly tearing each other down. But my goal at that time was the cybersecurity. Now, as that's grown and I've been able to help more and more people and I hear feedback on it, it moved over to this. And so the goals can change. As long as you know what you want in the end right? If you're looking for happiness, sometimes you do have to reevaluate A, what's going to make you happy, and B, what's it going to take to get there? Because you're going to stumble, you're going to fall, you're going to have obstacles in your way, and you have to be able to overcome them. So your goals may not be wrong. Maybe, just maybe, your why is. Episode 1. Your why has to be strong enough to actually reach your goals. So be confident in your path. Your path can change. It can diverge. Just make sure that if you're changing your goals, you know why. Because you have to understand why you are doing anything. You have to have a purpose. You have to have a purpose in life. Without purpose, there's not much to do. It's very difficult to find happiness and success and achievements if you have no purpose. And so if you get something from somebody, anybody, and I mean this in a way of, if you find that somebody has helped you, you should do 2 things. 1, you pay it forward. 2, let that person know. You don't have to give them anything like monetary or anything like that, but let them know that they helped you. Because a lot of times that's what gives people the motivation to keep going and helping others, especially when they're not doing anything, giving anything financial to somebody. It's just advice or training or whatever the case may be. And a lot of times it's free, at least from the people that I know. So make sure you let others know when they've helped you and what they've done to help you, whether it's motivated you or inspired you in some way. Let them know. Now, finally, I want to lead this into my other topic, which is wisdom, the whole premise of this show. And I want to talk about this because wisdom is what helps define our path, right? As we learn new things, as we grow as human beings and discover that we may like something else or we may feel differently about something, that wisdom will guide you and help you make some better decisions in your life. As a kid, a lot of times we just hurt ourselves or we do whatever we want, or our parents keep us in a bubble and under a rock, whatever the case may be, however you were raised. It's living life that teaches you wisdom. Did you take the advice of your parents and it did or didn't work out for you? Did you not take the advice of your parents and it did or didn't work out for you? I'll tell you 9 times out of 10, had I listened to my parents, I'd probably have a lot more money right now and a lot better credit. But, did you do these things? Now, the reason I released this podcast on Wednesday is because it's also called Odin's Day in the Norse pantheon. So Odin, as the god of wisdom, I felt it fit the theme, it fit what I was going for. And in my life, I've had to learn a lot. I've learned in my career, I've learned in life by not taking the advice of my parents, by sometimes taking the advice, rarely. And if they're listening to this, they'll be the first to tell you, if ever, it was rarely. But wisdom is what guides me and kind of helps me to keep going. Because even when I'm depressed or upset or feel like something's just not right, it's the wisdom of growing up in life and maturing and finding things out that leads me to realize I need to talk to somebody, or I need to take a break, or something isn't right, let me go to a doctor. Whatever the case may be. It took wisdom to get there. It took years to get there, to come to that understanding. When you grow up being told, brush it off, don't cry, it'll be okay, you have to develop a way to see the signs when things aren't okay. And it took me a while. That's wisdom. In your lives and in your social life, and whether you're looking for a spouse or not, it takes wisdom to find the right one, because people talk about it all the time. There's red flags. And a lot of times people don't listen to them. I didn't for a little while. And so you have to understand what you're doing. And you have to have gone through heartache, and you've had to have gone through pain to know what wrong looks like. It's the only way to gain wisdom, by living life. I live my life every day. Whereas some live under a rock and don't necessarily want to grow as people. They think everything they know is all they need to know. Or they live in their echo chambers where no one ever tells them that they're wrong. And that's not a good way to be. because wisdom is, like I said, going to keep you going. It's going to help you out, going to help you look introspectively at yourself and realize when you need to change, when you need to do something different, when you're walking a path and you're like, I can do it this way, guaranteed, I'm going to reach my goal. It takes wisdom to realize maybe this isn't right. Maybe I need to change something. Maybe my goal is too big. I need to start smaller. All these different things. And it's a learning journey. And we should always be learning. We should always be growing. We should always be trying to get better. And it takes wisdom in life to know when you're wrong and know when you need to get better and when you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing. So understand, this show is all about you, the listener. My goal is to give you wisdom as best as I can in the life that I've lived and cover some of the mistakes that I've made, which are plentiful. So if we get into a topic or you ask a question and I have some type of experience or story to go with it, I guarantee you I'm going to tell it. It's going to happen. So I hope you all got something from this. And as always, before we go, let me give you a little bit of wisdom. And we're once again coming from the havamal. And this is why it kind of feeds into it. A traveler cannot bring a better burden on the road than plenty of wisdom. It will prove better than money in an unfamiliar place. Wisdom is the comfort of the poor. And as I read this, I realize this is probably the second or third time that I've done this stanza from the havamal. But I can't help but read it and realize that it means so much. And it helps me because wisdom is what's going to get you, no matter how broke you get, it takes wisdom to realize how to overcome it, how to do better, how to learn more, how to grow as a person. All these things will push you further in life. And eventually the money will come. But wisdom, when you're down and out and at your lowest, that'll get you off the ground and get you to keep moving. Now, saying that, once again, this has been Walk With Me, and I'm the Cyber Warrior. And if you enjoyed this episode, please rate it. Good Pods allows you to rate every episode. Apple, Spotify allows you to rate the entire podcast. Please leave a rating and review. Also, in the show notes, description, whatever you want to call it, is all of the ways you can follow me on social media and where you can ask your questions for me to hopefully answer for you on future episodes. I hope that you get something from this. I hope you continue to listen, and I hope you share these episodes with your family, friends, anybody who needs it, because that will mean a lot to me. Otherwise, once again, I'm the Cyber Warrior, and I will talk to you all next week.